Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live stream today. I see we have a few people already in the chat here, which is great. Kevin said, "Hey, due to the postcard, or due to the," I started to read his username, postcard guy. Kevin said, "Hey, due to the holiday today, I can actually make a live Let's Talk postcard show." Nice. Yeah, I realized that the other day that this aligned on Veterans Day. So happy you're able to make it. Nancy said, and she's answering my question from yesterday. So I sold a Kentucky, it was some Bernheim something distillery in Kentucky, and I wanted to know, because I know I didn't know if bourbon meant it was only distilled in Kentucky or if other states could produce bourbon, but Nancy says Kentucky is the birthplace of bourbon and it can be distilled in other states. The essence of bourbon lies in its adherence to strict production standards, at least 51% corn mash, aged in new charred oak barrels and distilled at no more than 160 proof. It originated in the early 1700s Scots-Irish immigrants. So does Kentucky not have, can Kentucky, because I thought they had the license, or not license. Uh, okay. It's the term Kentucky bourbon, which makes sense. According to, well, let me make sure this is real because this is what AI says, and I don't know. You always got to check because sometimes it just makes stuff up. Uh, okay, got to enter my age to make sure I can read information about bourbon. Okay, so this is from wildturkey.com. Uh, they say this is because, or Kentucky bourbon can only come from Kentucky. Makes sense. They say this is because the 1964 congressional statute governing bourbon declared it a distinctive product of the United States, not Kentucky alone. Oh, okay. Some purists may argue that true bourbon can only come from Kentucky. So I guess they passed the law in 1964 that said anybody in the United States could make it, but I guess only Kentucky bourbon. You can't call it Kentucky bourbon unless it's made in Kentucky. I don't know. It's pretty confusing, but I don't really like bourbon anyway. It was just a postcard. I hope everybody's staying warm. It's quite cold here. Unfortunately, my banana tree looks like it has died. If anybody has experience with banana trees, let me know if it's actually dead or if they just die in the winter. I don't think they die in the winter, but the banana tree that I got is supposed to be cold hardy down to, I think, 15 or 20 degrees. And it was only like 27 last night, and it looks real bad. So if anybody has any advice, I'd like to hear it, because the banana tree was definitely my pride and joy in the garden. And it was really the only thing still alive, or is the only thing still alive, or was, I guess, now in past tense. But yeah. I don't. This is the first time I've planted a banana tree, and it looks. It had like little sprouts growing up next to it, little baby banana trees, and those are still alive, weirdly enough. But the big tree looks awful. Um, Nomadicone says howdy from BC, Canada, which I believe is British Columbia, one of the provinces of Canada located on the west coast above Washington. Correct me if I'm wrong. I like to practice Canadian geography whenever I get a chance. Update on our sewer. Last week, the live stream was an hour late because our sewer decided to clog itself. It turns out the problem with the sewer was that AT&T drilled through our sewer line when they were laying a cable. So now I'm in talks with AT&T to have them reimburse us for fixing the sewer line. But I mean, we have the pictures that clearly shows they drilled through it, so I don't think it'll be a problem. I'm just waiting to hear back from the AT&T supervisor. But it was kind of a nice, you know, it was definitely not nice at first to hear that your sewer line is blocked up, but to hear that it was caused by AT&T drilling through the sewer line is probably about as good of a solution as you can get, because if they hadn't have done that and the problem was just caused by the line getting old or something, we would have had to pay for it ourselves, which we did. But if AT&T doesn't pay for it, I'll take them to small claims court and just show a judge the picture of the drilled through line, and I'm sure they'll make AT&T pay for it, right? Um, you got it. Yeah, that's. I don't know exactly where. I think Quebec is the furthest east, and then Ontario is to the west of Quebec, and then all the ones to the west of that nobody really cares about except for BC. But all the other ones are kind of like the hillbilly lands of Canada that aren't really populated and they're pretty cold, like Saskatchewan. Uh, I'm blanking on the other ones. Labrador, and there's some other ones too. Prince Edward Island. Postcard guy said 40 degrees here in Florida. My banana trees are okay, but once they get below 32 degrees, they are likely done. Dig up and bring the pups inside to save them. That's what I thought. So I don't want to have to dig these up because I planted them in the yard. Well, the pups I could technically dig up, but the pups are getting big. Like the pups are about 5 feet high now on their own. But the big tree, um, once it gets below 32 degrees, they're likely done. That's what I thought. But at the place that I bought the banana tree, I think this is false advertising. So I need to get my, I think that it is like $10 or something. See if they can reimburse me for the banana tree. Because they said it was a cold hardy variety of banana tree, and it was either 15 or 20 degrees that it said it was cold hardy to. So I thought I would be able to grow it here because it rarely gets below 20 degrees. And my plan was if we ever had a night that it was supposed to get below 20 degrees, I was going to get a little, tree blanket or something and go cover it up. But that's what I thought, and I was misled by the false advertising on this banana tree. But it does look really bad, unfortunately. Banana pups will survive in a pot inside or in a garage through the winter. I might try and dig them up. It's just I I don't know. I might just let them go, and because I don't think. I mean, even if I brought them inside to save them, I don't think I would be able to put it in a pot big enough for it to produce fruit inside, especially with the height it's required to produce fruit. Because the one in our yard now, it would not fit inside because it's so tall, and it doesn't have fruit on it yet. So if I did save them and put it in a pot, I would have to plant it next year because it would get too cold. And the same thing would probably just happen. It would grow really big and then it would die in the winter. So I might just sadly let the banana trees go and plant something else there next year. But I don't know why they were advertising those as so cold hardy because I thought I was really confused when I saw the banana trees too because usually the nurseries aren't supposed to sell plants or not. It's not like there's a law against it or anything, but usually the nurseries don't sell plants that don't grow where you live because it's just common sense not to do that. But I was excited when I thought we could grow bananas here, but I guess we can't. Hello from France. Welcome in Eugene from France. Usually 12 to 18 months till they fruit. Yeah. I don't think we would get 12 to 18 months consecutive 32 degrees or above. I guess what I could do is start it. Well, no, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what I could do. I'm giving up on bananas trees. I think they're really cool, but sadly, I don't think they grow here. I don't have a postcard of the week prepared this week. I am gonna get a lot more postcards of the weeks in York when we go there. I've been really excited about the York show, and I feel like I'm a little too excited, and I need to take it down a notch because the last time I was really excited for a show was Wichita, and then our cat almost died, and we didn't get to go. So I want to temper my expectations, and just in case anything crazy happens. But if all goes well, I am mildly excited to go to Pennsylvania next week. We'll be leaving Thursday. Let me know in the chat if you're also going to York. I think it'll be. I said this I think in the video I recorded yesterday, but or maybe last week. I can't remember. They all run together, but I saw a couple people at the Georgia postcard show that I knew, but I imagine more people would be able to go, and definitely more people would be at the York, Pennsylvania show. So hopefully see a few more people there. Postcard guys, some are advertised as hardy, but they don't tolerate the cold. Yeah, that's what they did apparently, which sucks, because why would you even ship them to Georgia? Because everybody that planted one of these trees, theirs is probably dead right now, because, I mean, it's good marketing, I guess, but I would rather have not been misled and lied to. And I knew that banana trees shouldn't be growing here, but I believed the packaging. I actually started picking up Vans postcards since I started Van. I think you meant banana postcards. Vans. Banana postcards. I'm pretty sure you meant banana postcards since I started growing them. Like I needed one more category to collect. Yeah, they have a lot of Florida banana postcards too, and um, I don't. They're not as common as some of the. What's the most common Florida crop postcard, Kevin? Uh, what's supposed to be bananas? It's okay. I got there eventually. I thought for a second though you meant Vans the shoes, and you meant to say since you started or since you grew up wearing them, which would have been cool too. I didn't know they made Vans postcards, but bananas makes more sense. What is the? I know they do coconut postcards in Florida. They do coconuts. I've seen a few strawberries. I think strawberries are pretty popular in Florida. Oranges is what I was trying to think of. I think oranges are the most popular fruit on postcards in Florida. Yes. Uh, I've seen a few grapefruits too, but oranges I think are the most popular one. But they have a lot of fruit. Florida fruit postcards are very popular, and we have some Publix. Publix is the grocery store I shop at. I used to work at Publix, and shopping isn't as much of a pleasure as it used to be, but it's still a nice place to shop. And Publix gets all of their produce, at least when they can. They get all their produce from Florida. So, pro tip: if you have any Publixes, is that the plural of Publix? Publis next to you or near you, not necessarily next to you, but if you're near a Publix grocery store, their strawberries are usually the best because they get them sent straight from Florida, and they pick them when they're really ripe, and it's like March they get the start getting the strawberries in, something like that. Maybe February, that might be a little bit too early, but March or April at least. They should have strawberries, and yeah, they should get oranges from Florida at Publix too. Um, I don't know about coconuts. I don't know if they grow as many coconuts in Florida. I feel like coconuts have to be grown, or when we consume coconuts, we have to get them from a different country because they're so land intensive. You have to plant like trees, and I don't think they produce as much. And I don't know how many coconuts Florida grows these days. Strawberries come from Plant City, Florida here. Yeah, I think, I'm trying to remember when I worked at Publix, the city they came from, but Plant City sounds right. The ones we got from Florida were so good. They only lasted a couple weeks, and I don't know if Publix does this anymore, but when I worked there, they probably don't do it anymore because this was before COVID and before grocery prices were much higher. But this is going to be what I tell all the young people when I'm an old man. And when it's like when old people now say, yeah, when I was a kid, you could just go to a soda fountain and get a Coke for a nickel. I'm going to say, when I was a kid, you could get a pound of strawberries at Publix for $1 because that's what we had them at when I worked at Publix. It was a special. It was only a week or two that it lasted, but $1 for a box of strawberries at Publix. You couldn't beat it. Like I said, Publix has gone downhill a little bit, but it's still better than Kroger, in my opinion. If anybody else wants to chime in on the chat, if you have a favorite grocer, let me know. Uh, I don't I don't really have a lot of experience with other grocers. I have gone to Harris Teeter before when we're on vacation. That was pretty nice. But we don't have that around here. Around here, all we got is Kroger, Publix. We have an Aldi. We're getting a Lidl, and Whole Foods. But I don't go to Whole Foods. I'm not a Whole Foods guy. Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's is pretty good. Barbara says, "Hey peeps, welcome in, Barbara." And I grow pineapples in the yard, so different from New Jersey. Yeah, Florida, you're lucky there because you can grow a ton of stuff. Being in a place that really doesn't ever get below freezing gives you a lot more options when it comes to growing crops. Um, and here, I mean, we have some good stuff here. Like blueberries are really popular in Georgia. I got several. What do I have now? Four or five blueberry bushes out there that also look pretty rough, but those die and come back, so I'm not as worried about those as I am at the dead banana tree. Pam Card says, "Hello all, welcome in, Pam." SM Postcards. Wow, we have Postcard Guy, we have SM Postcards. I guess for Veterans Day, we're honoring all of our postcard veterans that have been selling for years. No, just kidding. No, a salute to all the real veterans out there. But it's nice to have SM Postcards in the chat. Welcome in. I hope the drones are going well. I meant to add, if you know this, if you don't know it right offhand, that's fine. But have been meaning to email you because I'm gonna record a video in York, and I love the background music you have in your, what is it, Bremerton flea? No, not Bremerton. In your not flea market either, or maybe it was. You have some background music in, it's a series of 6 videos in Massachusetts, I think, a flea market trip, maybe the world's largest flea market or largest antique outdoor thing. But if you remember the background music used in those videos, Brimfield, the background music you used in those videos, I think it was like royalty-free music you put in there. But I'd like to use that for my York videos, unless you produced it yourself and own the rights to it. But if you could point me in the direction of that music, I'd appreciate it. If you remember, if not, it's totally fine. I don't want you to go to too much trouble. Eugene said, "Did someone have luck selling individual cards from like 100 cards of 1950 comics, and all similar lots like Disney or Star Wars, selling a lot of them, a 100 type bundle being sold around here?" Yeah, I don't have any experience with those. I guess you mean like trading cards created from comics. I don't know if they made them. Are those made originally in the 1950s, or are they modern post? I think I've seen a few modern postcards, or not, maybe postcards, modern cards made to look like the 1950 comics. I don't know if they made any in the 1950s. You must be bored. Yeah, I guess so. No, I'm glad you have enough time to stop by today. I know you're super busy with everything you got going on. Hi, Mark and Daniel. Monty here. Welcome in the chat, Monty. Postcard time traveler. I think it was YouTube supplied audio. Okay, yeah, I'll have to poke around in YouTube then, and maybe I can find it. I don't know why. I love that song. It's a jam. Um, Comic cards, I find people just read them online and don't buy many. Oh, are you all talking about, are these from the 1950s, or are these like arcade cards? I don't know if I know exactly what you're talking about. I'll try to look it up. 1950s comic cards. If it's not a postcard, I don't really mess with it. Oh, okay. I think this might be what you're talking about. Let me share my screen real quick. And also another thing I wanted to mention, if anybody, so last week, Alan noticed that my video quality was pretty terrible, especially when I was selling my screen. Not selling my screen, sharing my screen, which is why I thought of this as I was about to share my screen. I know you can live stream, or I think you can live stream with OBS, and that's what I use to record my videos. So I'm going to try to figure out how to live stream in OBS, and I think it'll be better quality, but I tried to Google it. StreamYard is just nice because it's really easy to do, and OBS is a great program, but I don't know if it's as easy to live stream in, but it is free, or open source. It was free for me. But I'm going to try to figure that out and see if I can live stream in higher quality, because when I share my screen, you can't really read words very good. This is what I'm getting for 1950s comic cards. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but I don't think I've ever seen any of these before. They're not ringing any bells. Um, I see modern Continental cards made of old comic book covers often. Yeah, I think that's what I was thinking about. I know I've seen some Continental cards of a Superman comic before. I don't know if I've seen any others, but I don't know if I've ever tried to sell any of those before. Uh, Mark said we picked up some large contracts for drone work that takes me out of the house most days. Is it mostly around Illinois? I know Jackass Retro is your neighbor now. You'll have to fly one of your drones down there and see him. Maybe maybe you can give us a drone view of his new compound down there, wherever he is in Illinois. Uh, oh, Monty, yeah. Where were you? Postcard Time Traveler has a really cool YouTube channel if you check them out. I don't know. I might not have turned notifications on for them yet. Either that or they haven't done a video in a minute, which, no judgment here. I'm just trying to see when the last video was. Yeah, they did one. It's been a little bit, but they do really high quality videos. So I think you can go to their name in the chat and check out their postcard videos that they've done. They're really cool, history type videos, and it's different than videos other sellers make because most other sellers do, obviously, selling focused videos and not history videos, but they do a lot of history ones. Illinois, Indiana, and Michigan lately. So tri-state area, I guess. I'm doing more on TikTok now. Oh, okay. I need to. I never really got into TikTok. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too. I don't. I don't know. Like some of the videos on TikTok are neat, but I never recorded in the vertical format. And I've posted a few videos on TikTok, but I never really put much effort into it. It's too. I don't want to split myself too thin. I think YouTube is enough for me to keep up with, and I don't want to do. And Instagram I tried to do for a little bit and kind of gave up on that. But I did recently turn notifications back on for Instagram because I had turned them off because they kept sending me notifications about Reels, and it was super annoying. And I think they've stopped doing it, so I turned them back on. But where was I going with that? Yeah, I really only have YouTube now and don't use much else. I do need to post. I like Instagram's good for postcards because it's, a visual social media and it's good for posting cool postcards. And I need to do more of that. I did post one on there, it feels like a few weeks ago, but it's probably been a few months now. Let me see. It was a cool postcard though. Maybe at York I'll have to post some on Instagram and maybe even TikTok. God forbid I'll get a. I don't have anything against TikTok. I just don't really use it. And okay, the last post. When was I? The last post. Wait, where is? Oh, goodness gracious. Last post was September 16th. It felt like a few weeks, but it was almost 2 months ago. So that's crazy. We have taken over 300,000 photos and over 400 videos this year with drone work. That's crazy. Do you do a lot of real estate work, I imagine? Just because, I don't know. Maybe, probably only the fancier houses can afford that. I imagine for the, you know, houses like the shacks, you're not hiring a drone photographer to come take pictures of your shack to sell. But the fancy houses up in Illinois, you know what contract you should get? I hear Michael Jordan is still trying to sell his house in Chicago. You should see if he needs some drone photography work to help move that house. I think it's still for sale. I don't, I can't, I think I would have read about it if it would have sold, right? Let me see. Michael Jordan house for sale. Oh, it sold. Man, that's a shame. But it was on the market for 12 years, so who bought that? It sold for $9.5 million. Because I think the reason why it hadn't sold is because, I mean, it's a cool house, but it was kind of like in the middle of nowhere, and, it's not, no offense to wherever it was, but I don't think A random suburb of Chicago is the most. Like if this house was in the Los Angeles area, I think it would have sold a lot more quickly. Uh, but where was it? Chicago somewhere. Highland Park. I don't know if Highland Park. I mean, when I saw a video about the house, it looked like it was in the middle of nowhere. So maybe if it was in a better area in Highland Park, it would have sold quicker. Or like a more popular area. I don't know. I don't know anything about Illinois real estate market, but somebody bought it after 12 years. And Ashley had a question yesterday. Um, wow, I only have a couple of these left. I need to say more. Oh, sorry. I just realized I wasn't talking to the mic. You probably couldn't have heard me. But Ashley asked what postcard carrier sheets look like. So, and I only have 3, which is crazy because I used to have. Well, I have some of my postcards that I have yet to list are in these sleeves that have glitter on them and stuff. So I'm trying to. This one just has a small piece of tape, so I'm trying to remove that to show you how these work. But I'm sure you've seen these and gotten them in postcards before. But this is what this is going to be. This is what the carrier sheets look like. So it's got a little flap over the top like this, and you can open it up. I am so sorry for the quality of this. So, good lord. That postcard's gonna be too big. Let me grab a postcard real quick. So, the carrier sheets, they're like I would call them a little bit stiffer than a plastic sleeve, and they're not as floppy. That's the big thing. And they don't crinkle up when they run through the scanner. So this is how they look. And you can open it up. Oh my god, this is terrible. You can open it up like so and put a postcard in, and then you can close it, and then you can take the top flap and fold it over so it's in the sleeve like so. And then yeah, that's what it looks like in the sleeve, and then you can run that through the scanner. The back is usually taped right here, which I think you need to do. I've never tried to run it through without the back taped, but some collectors use them to store their postcards in as like an alternative. It's kind of like a middle ground between sleeves and top loaders, but you do need something like this to run it through the scanner because the sleeve will just get kind of crinkly, I think. I've never tried. I've never been brave enough to try, but that's my understanding. Okay, let me catch up with the chat here. Invaluable had a pretty nice looking album of postcards. I bid $550. It went for $750 with another $150 buyer's premium and then tax shipping. You're looking at over $1,000 for 400 cards sight unseen. Yeah, that's crazy. Do you mind describing a little bit of what the cards looked like? If you knew, I would bid perhaps if you knew what the majority of cards were and if they were real photos. Likely real photos. I mean, I guess technically it could be, it would have to be at least a lot of real photos to pay that amount of money. Or Halloween, but I don't really even try to bid on Halloween anymore because those usually go for quite a big premium. I find Halloween when I find Halloween. I don't go seeking them out. But yeah, I would consider around that price. Over $1,000 for 400 cards. So that would be $2.50 a card you're paying. And I've paid that once before. I'm trying to think. Have I ever paid in that? I've never really paid in that exact range. I have paid a bit more for that for a nice aviation collection with a lot of real photos. Mostly real photos, actually. And that one was definitely worth it. Yeah, if there are common cards mixed in, I probably wouldn't even consider it at that price. You would have to, for that price, I would have to see, and everybody's opinion may differ, so feel free to put your opinion in the chat, but I would have to see, like, pretty much only real photos in there and not from Vermont, not from New Hampshire, not from Maine. It would have to be from a decent state, too. Popeye recently commented on a video he made around 2017. There were 3.2 million postcards available. I believe I saw that one actually in. I think it was a Patreon video of mine I did a month or two ago where I was trying to find how many postcards were listed in the past, because you can see on eBay that postcard sales have been increasing, but the amount listed has also been increasing. So if you want a share of the increasing postcard sales on eBay, you have to be increasing your store size faster than the number of postcards on eBay are increasing, which might be difficult to do. But yeah, I know it's the number of postcards available on eBay has increased by a lot. 4 years later, in November of 2021, Jackass Retro reported that there were 6 million postcards available when searching just postcard, and there were 500,000 sold in the previous 90 days. Um, Let me see how many are sold in the previous 90 days, unless you already said and I haven't scrolled down far enough to see it. We do photogrammetry mapping. Let me look that up. I want to make a fool of myself. Oh, cool. The science and art of creating 2D and 3D maps from overlooking photographs taken from aerial or drone platforms. Man, Mark, I have a great idea. So if you ever came down here and did our neighborhood, me and you could make bank on selling 3D and 2D maps of our neighborhood. We live in a large neighborhood in Athens, and it's a quite old and historic neighborhood, and the people here would eat that up. But just of Athens in general, I would definitely buy that. That's really cool. Of 2D and 3D maps, that's neat. Um, Another 4 years later, as of today, there are 13 million available, with 480,000 sold over the last 90 days. I assume you mean. And I have let me just go to let me just go over onto Terapeak and type in postcard, and I'll share my screen here. Oh yeah, I need to catch up with the chat. I'm too behind. Jordan's Place is sold. Yeah, that was a good idea while I thought it was still for sale. But hopefully the new owner gets burnt out, and it seems like they're trying to Airbnb it. I think they paid like 9 million for it. That's I mean, that would be kind of cool to stay in Michael Jordan's house, but and forgive me for saying this, Michael Jordan is gonna be less relevant as time goes on, because it's already been well over 20 years since he played, and he's gonna become like Elvis, and he's gonna be somebody that older generations really love and revere and have fond memories of, but he's gonna be somebody that young people don't really care about. Like, how many kids these days are huge fans of Michael Jordan? I don't know any. They're fans of the current generation. And even LeBron. Kids now aren't even into LeBron. They're into Anthony Edwards. I promise I like basketball, but I can't think of. They're into Luca. Um, but what other young stars are there? Jimmy Butler, but even he's getting a little too old now. So what I'm trying to say, that's a lot to pay for that house, and if you're banking on people wanting to Airbnb it just because of the Michael Jordan connection, I think you're gonna have a tough time selling it for a lot of money, Airbnbing it out. Because I mean, I guess older people that watched him play, Gen X and older, will probably like that. But even if you would, are you really willing to go out to, and maybe if you have something else planned and you're already in the area and you're rich, you would do it. But would you go to Highland Park, Illinois just to stay in Michael Jordan's house? Let me know in the comments. Do you suspect we will continue this trend downward in this category? Let me go back to your, oh my God, there's too many comments. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up because I don't like being behind, because I'm talking about what everybody was talking about 10 minutes ago. So, B. Griffin, I will come back to you as soon as I catch up. Ashley, yes, carrier sheet visual, thanks. Okay, yeah, let me know if you have any questions on that. If I had extra, I would send them, but I would say if the next postcard show you go to, you can definitely load up on them, and you don't need a ton. I mean, really, you could get by with just having one and just using the same uh, sleeve over and over again through the scanner. Realtors don't want to pay much for drone photos, and some try to add to scope of shot list. That makes sense. I guess, yeah, it would really only make sense if you're trying to sell Michael Jordan's house. Oh, yeah. There's no butting in the chat. Everybody's free to comment when you'd like. Oh, I have seen those. Yeah, I thought you'd. I mean, pretty much everybody has seen them. You just don't really, and they aren't made to be carrier sheets. And I don't know what they were called. They've been used as post. They're like old school postcard sleeves, basically. But I don't think they really make them anymore. I know they make carrier sheets now, but I don't think they make the postcard specific ones. But yeah, I didn't know either that they could be used as carrier sheets until a Popeyes video I watched, and then after I saw that, I just started setting them aside when I would find them, and I've accumulated a nice little stack of them, and now I'm able to, pick and choose which ones I want to keep. So if one's in really musty shape, I just toss it. I have an old Epson ES400 I've been shoving postcards in that have glitter, so far no scratches. That's good to know. I have I have an old Epson too that I bought when I was gonna try to do a bunch of AI listings, and I just gave up on that, and so the Epson is just sitting somewhere. But maybe I should open it back up, and that'll be my glitter scanner. I'm glad you told me to tape them. Yeah, I think. I mean, I haven't tested it with an untaped one, but I would think the flap would get caught up in the wheels. So I've only ever seen them, and a lot of them are already taped when I get them. Some aren't, but I would put them through tape just to be sure. There were several Halloween postcards, some real photos, railroad depots, enough to where I thought 550 was a good price. Yeah, you'd probably do all right. Even the seller who bid more will probably make money eventually, but you just have to consider the amount of work you do too. And I don't think a lot of sellers necessarily take into account their time when they're purchasing some postcard lots because, uh, like if you buy that and you know, there's several Halloween postcards and some real photos, some railroad depots. Uh, yeah, that's gonna get you a decent chunk of money back, depending. But what are the rest of the cards like? And are there a lot of cards that you're gonna have to sell in bulk? Are there still a lot of other really good cards in there, and you can make that money back really quickly? But I think what happens, not necessarily with this specifically, but with some purchases in general, um, sellers, might make money, but they might not make their money back for a year or 2 years, and then it, when they consider their time and everything they invested into listing the cards, it might not be very much money that they'd end up making, like I don't know, $5, $2 an hour, something like that. But yeah, it's tough though because you have to try to. At auctions, it doesn't really matter because it's not like you're dealing with someone directly. It's a little bit different when I'm negotiating with someone and buying their collection from them directly because I feel the need to make sure I'm giving them a fair price. And that what that means for me is usually I will, not think first. I will be like, I don't think I'm getting a great deal, but I think I can make money from this. So I'll kind of go back and forth in my mind. But I think that's how it should be. I don't think I should be buying something from somebody and be like, wow, I'm getting this for a steal. Because then I probably didn't pay a fair price. But yeah, with auctions, you don't really have to worry about that because uh, and it's going to go for what it goes for. And um, it's not like you can bid. Your bid is just like slightly more than whatever the next person bids. So you aren't really making an offer to someone. Have you tried roof picture on industrial? Okay, the mapping. Okay, 14 million postcards listed on eBay when I checked lately. My number of cards sold per week is half of what I sold 3 to 4 years ago. And I know Mark hasn't been listing as much, but that's also interesting to hear though, because that would make sense based on what um, B. Griffin said about because he said, slightly less number of postcards sold and about twice the number of postcards listed as there were 4 years ago. So about half would make the math would check out there. I bought a lot of about 1,000 cards, and some have zigzag edges. I've never seen this on eBay and wonder what the deal is with them. Oh, you mean the... I don't have... I don't know why I looked to the side. I thought I had one of them next to me. Yeah, some of them have the fancy cut. I forget. Deckled edges, maybe, what they're called. But short version, they don't really add much value, but yeah, they're neat. If I ever get a job in Orange Dirt area of the country, I'll let you know. Yeah, come by and do our neighborhood, and we'll open an Etsy shop to sell maps. That'll be our next or your next venture. 18.8 thousand pictures. I don't know. I must have missed something. I'm still trying to catch up. I'm sorry. I have not listed like I used to due to being busy, and also at 57,000 listed and do not want to start up a new store. Yeah, you're kind of. I don't even know what I'm going to do when I get to 60,000, because that's the for anybody who doesn't know. That's the basically the limit for a premium store of what is it, $60 a month, and the next level up is crazy expensive. It's like $300 a month, I want to say. Correct me if I'm wrong, and that lets you go up to 100,000. But that 60,000 is definitely a big dividing line, and yeah, I don't want to start a new store either. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Fortunately, I still have a decent bit of room. I'm at 34,000 now. Caitlin Clark, yeah, Caitlin Clark. That's what they'll want to. Although with the, I mean, she makes more from endorsements and stuff, but with the money WNBA players make, uh, she's probably living in like an apartment or something. Boomers have money. Yeah, the Michael. I mean, people still love Michael Jordan. Don't get me wrong. I just think in like 20 to 30 years, it would be a much tougher sell because a lot of the people that loved Michael Jordan would be dead. I think he would be like Elvis. Like people, do people nowadays still like Elvis? Let me know in the comments if you're a young person and you like Elvis. If you're an old person and you like Elvis, let me know too, I guess. I don't. I mean, my dad liked Elvis. I think he died when my dad was a kid, but and my grandma loved Elvis, but I don't know. I listened to he has some good Christmas songs like I can't think of them off the top of my head, but I don't listen to much Elvis. I feel like a lot of younger one are postcards and going into trading cards. I think that's what you feel like a lot. Uh My base price is 475 for common cards and $1 shipping. If I put them on 30% discount, price drops to about $3.15 plus $1 shipping. I'm getting just over $4 per card. I sell 800 orders quarterly. Yeah, you can do yeah, I've been selling bemoaned. Is bemoan the right word? No, I've been selling more and more lower dollar cards cuz I don't when I pull cards to list, I don't look up cards before I decide I want to list them for sale. So obviously I am wrong about a lot of cards. And a card that I thought, like today, I found this really cool card. It was the something something. It was a Chicago newspaper, but it shut down in 1914. So I thought it would have been good. I was like, oh yeah, this postcard's probably from about 1910. This newspaper shut down in 1914. I've had good luck selling newspaper offices, but it was a really common card, and I listed it for I think like $5 or $6. But yeah, I sell a ton of cards that are $3, $4, $5. I don't list any card um, lower than 395 unless it's damaged. But I do 25% off on everything after it's been up for 4 months. So I end up selling a lot of low dollar cards, and yeah, that's great to I like to list nicer low dollar cards, and I don't again like I don't pick out like, ooh, this is a nice 395 card. It's just kind of what it ends up being. If I think a card might be worth a little bit more but it doesn't turn out to be, I'm not going to be like, well, toss this one away. I don't do that. An order can be one card to as many as 40 cards. Oh, I see what you say. Yeah, you get 800 orders quarterly. I don't know exactly what I'm at. This last week I did a little over 200. So what is a quarter? 12 weeks. So what, like 2,400 a quarter, maybe something like that. The bulk listers are putting up a lot of cards and will get a boost when you list thousands of cards, but my experience, it will level off to a lower number over time. Yeah, I think the same thing. But the more you have listed, the more chances of a sale. I think a lot of the AI listers are just listing a lot of really common postcards, and they kind of have to be because if you're using an AI lister, you're not gonna, be putting the really nice cards up for sale using AI. Like, that just doesn't make any financial sense for you to list really nice cards with AI because it's gonna price a lot of them wrong. And I don't even think there's really any AI listers now that price cards. You pretty much just have to enter a bulk price for all the cards. But yeah, the people putting up the ton of bulk are mostly common cards. Like Postcard Time Traveler said, I'm hoping to get my thousands of common cards listed and then take Daniel's approach and list rare and high end cards. And you have to do a combination. I mean, you don't have to, but it's very hard if you're listing a good amount of cards. And I don't do AI bulk listing or anything like that, but I try to list 100 cards a day on the days I list. And if I only wanted to list rare and high end cards, it would be so hard for me to list 400 to 500 cards a week. And I just don't think I can do it unless I bought some incredible collection where, and I would love to buy it, but yeah, just getting that amount of high end cards just isn't really feasible. So you kind of have to fill in the gaps with whatever you choose, and that can be different depending on what you like. So I myself like town views, so a lot of the cards I list that aren't the crazy expensive cards are town views. Most of the ones are town views. I don't list a ton of Christmas or holiday cards. I don't, list a lot of topical cards. But I know a lot of other sellers are the opposite. They maybe don't like listing places as much, and they like listing a lot of holidays. So yeah, everybody likes the rare and high end cards, but you have to figure out too what is going to take up the what you're going to fill your time with when you don't have, you know, a ton of high end cards to list, because that will happen for most people. People like Kevin the Postcard Guy has unique, cool cards, and that is where I think the market should lean to now to compete. Yeah, I think so too. And he has, yeah, a great deal he has set up with that longtime collector that he buys cards from. And if we could all be so lucky, no, yeah, I think so too. I agree that um, the way to be successful is probably going to be to list, unique cards. And even the cards that I list that aren't crazy expensive, I try to find something unique about the card. And, I don't list a lot of scenic views of rocks or mountains or stuff like that. But yeah, he has a lot of really nice cards, and his average sale price and his sales reflect that. Feels like you want to niche down specific topics, seasonal. Yeah, and I mean, it it depends because you don't want to be in a situation where you niche down too much and you ignore a lot of other valuable types of postcards. But I would say you should have specialties that you know more about than other sellers. But yeah, try to learn as much as you can about all types of cards. Apparently, postcards with the east room of the White House are now going up in price. That's funny. Since it's being torn down below, I'll have to go through. Actually, I don't want to go through all my Washington D.C. If anybody wants to buy my box of Washington D.C., let me know. I'm sure there's at least one east room in there, right? Monty is killing it lately. He's a professional lister. Uh, yeah, professional lister. Need to put that on my resume. I've always paid fair prices for good cards where both the seller and myself are happy. It's brought me repeat business over and over again and more collections from word of mouth. Yeah, that's the thing. If you can offer people a fair price, and especially if they don't necessarily know a lot about postcards, they will definitely pass your information along if they ever have anybody else that is looking to sell anything like that, and you'll get referral business that way. I actually had somebody um, have a. She wasn't a postcard expert herself necessarily. Her father was a longtime postcard dealer, and he had a ton of postcards. And I talked with her for a bit about her collection. She ended up deciding to consign it to an auction house. Huge collection, um, probably over 100,000 cards. But even then, even though I didn't, make a deal with her to buy any of the postcards, she passed my information along to somebody else that she knew that was interested in selling postcards, and then I just talked to them the other day. So, yeah, always um, be fair to people, and I will also tell people when they should try to sell their postcards to somebody else. And I think people respect when you're honest with them. And I'm not gonna, uh, what I mean by that is when somebody has a collection that I don't necessarily know a ton about, I say, hey, this dealer here would probably know a lot more about these types of cards and would probably be able to make you a better and more informed offer. I'll say that to somebody if it's, just something I don't know much about. Like maybe they have a really nice collection of Russian postcards and I don't want to, take a shot in the dark and hope that I'm right. SM Postcards Mark has been a huge help. He's the one I say intentionally on YouTube and is my inspiration. Yeah, Mark's great. We all want him to come back to YouTube. Maybe do some drone videos of postcard shows or go to Brimfield with your drone this year and do that. Elvis, who? Yeah, exactly. Right, Mark? Uh, Elvis. There are other Elvises, right? Was that a trend? Because I know with Game of Thrones, people were naming their kids Khaleesi, and there were others too. But I think that was a trend too, right? People would name their kids Elvis for a while. I tend to go for this is my hometown or I live there type of buyers. Yeah, yeah, there were always, and that's one of the reasons why I like town views so much, because there will always be people that live in a town, and there will always be people searching for a gift from that town. And I just had a postcard somebody bought the other day. It wasn't a cheap postcard, it was a $15 postcard. It was a nice mid century Chicago postcard. And they said in the message to, if I could write, from so and so, happy birthday. And I did. Took a little time to write them a little note and sent that off. And there's so many people that buy postcards like that aren't necessarily postcard collectors, but they're giving someone a gift or they're buying something for themselves that reminds them of a place that they used to live or a place that they spent a lot of time. So that's one of the big reasons why I like focusing on town postcards. Because there's not, I mean, and even if a town does, get destroyed or everybody moves out, it'll just get more valuable. So, yeah, I think the towns are, they might, some towns will get more popular, some will get less popular, the same with states, but I don't think they're ever going to be, we're ever going to be in a place where you say, well, there's just nobody buying postcards from Texas anymore or whatever. But that could be the case with some artists. And it's never going to be, nobody's buying these. But with a lot of artists, they're just not as popular as they were anymore, and they're a much, much tougher sell. If I went after just certain publishers, etc., I think that limits me to a smaller base of buyers. Yeah, yeah, you have to. I mean, if you just want to make, a smaller, buy like a meal a month or something, maybe go out to dinner once a month or something, you could do that. But you kind of have to know a little about a lot and have the areas you specialize in too and know a lot about a little. Once I do the comp research, I'm in with time, so I go ahead and list the lower cards. Yeah, once a card goes through my scanner, it's getting listed. Unless I had one the other day that I did want to keep for myself, but it's not like I pull one to list. I'm like, well, I thought this card was going to be $20, but it's only $4, so I'm gonna toss it in the trash. I just don't do that. Pixie Mom said now I only buy higher end lots. Yeah, you have to. I mean, yeah, if you can um, get those, that's great. There's just oftentimes a lot more competition for the higher end stuff. I like the hidden gems. No, I try to find uh, decent cards at reasonable prices. I don't too often pay up for stuff a lot unless I know it's pretty good. And some sellers like taking chances, and I just don't really like doing that myself. It's too risky for me. Like if you have an album for sale and you see one Halloween card and the rest of the pictures are like blurry or shots of the seller's feet, and you're like, well, I saw one Halloween card, so shot in the dark. I'll pay $400 for this or whatever. Like I don't do that. I don't like gambling at all. Actual gambling or gambling on postcard buys. Howdy, folks. Welcome in, Fart Sack Jack. You're only 46 minutes late. Welcome in. My Navy ship cards are my biggest sellers. I still have thousands of them. Yeah, and I've evolved so much how I sell over time, and like all of the cards that I sold to Mark, I would probably sell so many of the cards. I sold him, tens of thousands of postcards a couple years ago when we were in an apartment and we're limited on space, and I wanted a buyer for all my cards at once. I've so many of those cards I would list myself now because I see the value in cards that are, not gonna bring $100 or $50, but they're nice cards that sell pretty frequently and sell, or people are have memories attached to what's on the card and they're looking for them. And one of the things that I like is duplicates, and I don't. I will list most duplicates unless it's a duplicate of something that's like Niagara Falls. But other than that, like I love duplicates, and I have an entire box which I whipped out last show and showed some of the cards I have in there. But the more videos I watch of John or Popeye selling his airplane postcards, the more I see the value in cards that aren't high value but volume. And uh, yeah, that's you need to move the lower value cards that move while you wait for the bigger dollar cards to sell. And you can't rely on making consistent money if you're just trying to sell the higher dollar cards, unless you have a crazy consistent source to buy the cards at a good price. But most likely you're going to need to sell more average postcards too. And yeah, I have postcards I sell every day that are $3, $4. Hey, can anyone link me the Discord? Yeah, let me put it in the chat. Fartsack Jack could also. I don't know if Fartsack Jack is in the Discord actually. I was gonna say, or I said that because he's a moderator, and you have to be a moderator to put links in the chat, I think. But I'm pulling it up now, and I will drop the link in the chat for you and anyone else who wants to join. Let me see. This link should only be good for 7 days. Also, warning. I think I got rid of the spammer, but at one point in the server, and they weren't even a member of our server. It was just somebody that created a Discord account with my name and my profile picture, and they would message people when they joined my Discord, and they would say try to get them to like invest in crypto or something. So I will never try to get you to invest in crypto, and that's a pre-warning before you join my Discord. And if you do get a message, please let me know because I checked and I think they're kicked out. But if they're not, I would like to know about it. Okay, let me see here. Copy the link. Expires in 7 days. Here you go. And I'm still behind in the chat. People are just sending too many messages. If you could refrain from sending messages for the next minute. No, I'm just kidding. I bought a lot of 900 firefighter postcards. They sell well, including internationally. Nice buy. Yeah, firefighting is always a popular subject. I list basically anything. If not, then I'm listing what I like, and it is amazing what people look for. Yeah, that's what makes it interesting. And I mean, I could list a lot of these cards, the Christmas type cards and greeting type cards that I don't like to list would sell for $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10. But I just prefer to list views of places that sell for that amount. And I just stick with what I like. Same with me as some postcards. I list about everything. I feel like next ones are 1980, 90 movie or cars and motorcycle. I will list a purple elephant postcard. I think that's what you said in the video, right? You had somebody that collected purple elephants? Or was that a joke? Because I've never seen a purple elephant card. Wintertime, I think I might be able to do some YouTube things are more organized with the drone, so maybe. Yeah, maybe you get some blizzards and you're snowed in and you get cabin fever and you start making videos again. That's what I hope for. I like selling average cards for an average price. No mess, no fuss. I assume that's what you meant. Too mess, no fuss. Yeah, and the buyers, yeah, the postcard buyers, you never really have a problem with them. Once in a blue moon, but they're really easygoing for the most part, if not a little cranky. I also will not put best offer or entertain offers on lower value cards just to get a sale. Yeah, there's no, and if you have a price, the people that want to negotiate when you already have a low price, they're just not really the type you want to negotiate. Or, you know, people that negotiate when the price is that low are just the type that would try to get every nickel and dime out of you and then complain when one little thing doesn't go right. So I'd say that's for the best, probably. I tend to avoid auction. I prefer big cardboard box full of postcards and having to search into them. I have not, no back stock. I sold it all. Oh, nice. Yeah, I have really small amount right now myself. Sadly got burned on one of them, got duds from a stamp collector and didn't open the box fast enough. I still get people buying from my Ko-Fi store for sleeves and stuff. I keep the price low in there to help sellers. Yeah, I've referred many people to your Ko-Fi store. And I don't. Did we ever figure out if it's Ko-Fi or coffee? I'm always going to say Ko-Fi. But yeah, I have no idea. And that's a great resource, though. I have a few PDFs that I want to put up there digitally that I need to get done. But they were on my Patreon, which is now dead since Patreon sucks. But I want to, that's what I want to put on my Ko-Fi store since you can't really put those on YouTube. Monty pays for my lunch every month. Specifically, speaking of PDFs, the scanner setup guide you have is very helpful. And I've had several people that have emailed me or commented to ask how they stepped or set up their scanner, and just send them the link straight to your Ko-Fi store. 29, wow. Um, Kevin, we got snow. Yeah, we were on the edge of getting a dusting. It's cold here. We were in the 20s last night. Jackass Retro just won a huge lot for $1, stacks of duplicates. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's something I would buy. Like $1 for a ton of duplicates. You just list those one because it's just so little work. And I don't know. Like that's the ideal buy for me. $1 for a ton of duplicates because it's very little money. You have hardly anything in every card. Very little work to get them listed, and I can if the cards sell, which it could be something that just never sells, but assuming the card is sellable, you just make a few bucks every now and then. Uh, can you give us the part number or the brand of the gimbal and the body camera you bought? Yeah, the gimbal is, and you can buy them pretty much anywhere, so I won't link a specific site, but Insta360 is the brand of the gimbal and the body camera. And Insta360 has several models of body cameras. I bought the latest one, which was 400 bucks, but they do have older versions that I've heard are pretty good and much cheaper. But the reason why I bought the latest version was because battery life was a priority to me, specifically off the camera. The body camera, it is basically, if you've ever seen a GoPro, the Insta360, it's called the Insta360 Go Ultra is the specific model I got. The shape of it is exactly the same as a GoPro, but it's basically a dock and you can detach a smaller camera and put it on your chest. That's why I went with the Insta360 because I prioritized size, getting a really small one that I could just clip on my chest or my hat, and not, I didn't want one that was like the GoPro because I mean the GoPro is small, but it's kind of too big for you to wear on your chest without, you know, it just looks a little weird. But yeah, that's the one I got of the body camera. The gimbal is also Insta360, and it was, let's see, it's called Insta360 Flow. Is the gimbal I got. Flow Pro, maybe Flow Pro, I think. Which you can get one from Unclaimed Baggage for $85. I don't know how legit Unclaimed Baggage is. That's just what came up when I searched for it. But Insta360 Flow Pro, it looks like you can get them for about 120 bucks on eBay too. That, I am crazy impressed with that. Obviously, it's not a camera. You have to put your phone in there for it to work. But it's electronic, and I did not know gimbals worked like that. Like, you can, it's so stable. really, it's like black magic to me. But if you're holding the gimbal, you can move your arm all around like this, and your phone will stay in the exact same place. It's crazy to me. The first time I used it, I had no idea how it was working. But I got that gimbal to record some footage at York. I'm gonna put my camera or put my phone in there and just do like an overview and walk around. And then when I'm going through some cards and later, I'm just gonna put on the little body camera. So I bought those. That's what I bought. I'm sure there are cheaper options out there, but I did sell the GoPro I had to fund a little bit of it. Uh, but yeah, I think it's an investment. I'm going to be using these for years to come to make videos, hopefully. So hopefully it'll be an investment that pays off. Scammer, my bad. Oh wait, what did I? I've just got to be behind in the chat still. Chat is on steroids. Yeah, there's too many chats. I've been trying to get caught up with it for basically since the live stream started, and I haven't been able to. I'm still 7 minutes behind now, 5 minutes behind. Purple rhinos is what the guy asked for. Okay, not blue elephants, or did you say purple elephants? There's too many chats. I told you all to pause for a minute. If you could actually do that now, that'd be great. If they pull that, I hit them with the well. You can buy up to 5 cards. I'll ship them for free. Sorry, I don't have time to go back and look at the context for that. 7 minutes to go for talking in Discord. Uh, yeah. If anybody is not a member of Discord, I did have it previously only to Patreon members, but again, Patreon is dead. Long dead Patreon. I was trying to think of, you know how people say long live something? No, I will never go on Patreon again. It's terrible. But Discord, great resource. Join for free. Ko-Fi is correct, not coffee. The site admin told me. Nice. Even better, because I was going to keep saying it that way anyway. So to know that I'm saying that, I'm so sorry I'm behind. If you want to rewatch this and just put me like 4 minutes behind the chat, you'd get a much better experience. Any suggestions what to do with my foreign cards? I got a couple long boxes full of them. A lot of people buy foreign cards. Depends on what you've got, but one person's cards they don't want to list is another person's treasure. I come down to Siesta Key. I'm still trying to catch up. The setting PDF was a blessing. Yeah, that one was a great one. I've had a lot of people download that PDF. I'm probably at least 10 of those people because every time I try to pull it up on my computer, I can't find it and I have to go to your website and download it again. Oh, you're going down to Florida. Yeah, stop by in Georgia on your way down to Florida. I recently bought a lot of 2000 signed and some very rare Christmas Santa cards. I found one in a lot of a Tux Pretty Lady Art Nouveau design. Tux database claims a value of 400. Is that a... Oh yeah, a lot of those Art Nouveau style cards can go for a pretty penny. We use an Insta360 X5 for a construction site walkthrough, great camera. Yeah, when I was doing research, and I don't know, I'm not the type of person to really impulse buy anything. And I did a ton of research before buying the Insta360, and they had really good reviews. And I've used the gimbal, but I haven't used the main camera much. I've recorded a few test videos, or the body camera much, but it's been good in the small amount of time I've used it. It's a great card in good condition, but I doubt somebody will pay that much for it. Now, I don't know what to do with it or how much to list it for. How correct is TuckTV? From what I've heard, it's fairly accurate, but I don't know about high dollar cards like that. I would try to look up cards in the same series on product research or maybe even WorthPoint. You could find the exact card and try to get a recent sold or as recent as you can. Duplicates are great if they are a card that a lot of people want. I have many stacks of duplicates of Lynn and Beach cartoon comics. I don't think there's much of a market, but I also haven't tried. Yeah, they've got to be the right type of duplicate. For those, I probably wouldn't even try to list them. I'm 4 minutes behind. I'm trying to get caught up, I promise. But yeah, the ones I had this one was incredible. I wish I could find another stack of them, but I found a bunch of duplicates of Forbes Field in Pittsburgh, and it was a linen card. And I think I had like 10 of them. They've all sold. That was great. And I think I listed them at the lowest price, but I didn't like crazy undercut the market. Like I think they were selling for 11 or 12 bucks, and I listed them for $9.95. Kiss My Grits Mel. I don't know. I don't have time to go see what that's about. when I have a card like that and price is up in the air, I list it high with best offer for a while and see what people do. TuckDB is an okay reference, but not in stone. Listen to what Mark says, because he sold a card for more than any of us, 1,800 bucks for his Primo Santa card. Um, how do you ship postcards internationally? I have someone who's trying to buy a $5 card from the UK, but the shipping on eBay is like $15. I will only offer eBay international shipping, which is the cost that's like $15. Um, you can technically ship with a stamp and an envelope, but it's against postal or USPS regulations to ship merchandise that way. So if you want to go by the letter of the law, you're not supposed to use a stamp to ship merchandise. Um, that's part of the reason why I don't ship with a stamp, but the main reason is I like how eBay international shipping, you just have to send it to the hub. You don't have to worry about the international buyer ever getting it. If a buyer like that tells me, are they interested in a baseball postcard? Because I have a buyer from the UK that buys a lot of baseball postcards. And yeah, I just thought of that, but they could be interested in a totally different card. I don't have a ton of international buyers, but the ones that I do, I just tell them, hey, sorry, that's the only shipping option available, unfortunately. Just try to be nice about it, but apologize. But if you really want to, you can skirt the regulations and ship with a stamp. 336, still 4 minutes behind. USPS Global Stamps, yeah, I have some forever stamps behind me still, but yeah, it's not enforced. I mean, um, if USPS high level employees watching this, I do not ship merchandise with a stamp, to be clear, but from my experience and observations, it's not something that's enforced. I ship with international stamps. Thank you. I'll check out the post office today and get some stamps. Global stamps, 1 ounce to most cities in the world. No tracking, just label and a stamp. No tracking, but a great way to ship internationally. Appreciate the help, y'all. Someone yells fire and Daniel will stop and make sure there's a fire while everyone is running out. There are no comps for the card or for any of the cards on the series of 6. It's from 1902, so it's a very early Tux card. There was no skill in selling that $1,900 postcard, just dumb luck. Well, you did talk to the waitress. The skill was your personal skill. You're being personable at the restaurant and getting the waitress to bring in their postcard album. That was the skill there. But no, you did the research on it too. And don't say there is no skill, because I know a lot of people that would have found that card and have put it up for, and maybe not even have known it was Hold Delight. If they didn't know it was Hold Delight, not have known that it was one of the more valuable Hold Delights. So, and I think you may have said somebody helped you out pricing that or found some comp on WorthPoint. And even that, even if somebody else helped find the comp, that's still knowing where to look for resources there. So that's not just dumb luck. No, it was just a card of somewhere in France. Oh, the UK one, not a baseball one. How many postcards did you have to post before you started selling multiple a day? It's a little different for me because I started selling in 2021, which we know from earlier in the chat. Is when there were only 6 million postcards up on eBay and the same amount we're selling. Now we have over double listed. So I was selling multiple a day when I was doing 99-cent auctions and I only had a few hundred postcards up, but I was doing multiple a day because I was doing those cheap auctions and because it was 4 years ago. I would say now I expect to sell about, what have I said? Uh, did a little over 200 this week, about 800, da, 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 da. About, let me do the math on this. I have 300, assuming I'm selling roughly 800 a month, 34,000 in my store. That's like, oh my God, I'm terrible at math. I think I calculated this per day actually. Yeah. What I had said was for every 1,000 postcards you have listed, you'll sell a little less than one card per day. And that's yeah, that's what I'm at, cuz I did like this last week I did just about 30 cards a day and I'm at 34,000 listed. That's my experience with my store. Your experience may vary, but yeah, less than one card per day per 1,000 listed is what I would say. They can't even land planes right now, let alone chase my envelopes. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I don't want to get too excited about York, because we are flying to York, which who knew when we booked our flight a couple months ago that it would be such an adventure. Actually, it was just last month, but when I booked my flight, the government was still open and air traffic controllers were still getting paid. And now that we're getting closer to our flight, they are currently not getting paid and the government is currently not open. So fingers crossed on that. Um, yeah, I think they have bigger problems than somebody sending a postcard with a stamp. I've never heard of anybody getting in trouble for that. Again, if a USPS regulator is watching this, I do not do this. Uh, but yeah, I would say the main reason why I don't is just I like I'm lazy about some things, and I don't want to for a buyer to buy a card. I It's not really worth the money unless it's a high dollar card, and even then, like if it's a high dollar card, if the card is high enough for it to be worth it to me to like write their name on it or print a label and do a stamp, then I'm gonna be shipping it with tracking anyway. So I only do the eBay international shipping, but I don't sell a lot of international cards, which is another reason why I don't really care about offering international shipping. I should offer it to Canada though, because I do sell a decent amount of Canada cards. I should do Canada and Mexico is what I should do, but European, I'll be 6 feet under before I do European cards with a stamp and an envelope. Cool sourcing that card from the waitress, Mark. Um, yeah, I heard. I heard the waitress brought the Santa and she held it up to the light, and Mark's like, "Yeah, that's 50 cents to a dollar card, but I'll give you $1 for it." No, that's not how it went. He found it in an album, and it was a great find. But he sourced an entire album from the waitress, and that was one of the most incredible cards in there. When I hit about 5 to 6 thousand cards listed, I started selling more cards daily. Now probably 8 to 9 thousand listed to do that. I would say that's about right. And yeah, uh, sellers who are have been doing it for longer will be a little bit um, jaded isn't the right word. Our just perceptions will be a little bit off just because we started doing it when the market was less saturated. So when I started, it was just so much different, especially because I did 99-cent auctions. But yeah, I'm not the best person to ask. If there are any people who have like started this year and just got their first 10,000 up or something, they'd probably know a lot better. Dang, this is the longest I've been on YouTube chat in a while, trying Tom overload or trying to overload Daniel or his circuits. Well, Mark, I would like you to know that I am now hardwired directly into the internet. Oh, and let me show you this pic. Mark, you will appreciate this picture as a former technician. So I don't know exactly what field you worked in, or I know, basically what the overall field, but I don't know exactly what people you worked with. So let me know if what you would have done if one of your installers would have put a line in like this. Because this is what happened to our sewer. Let me airdrop myself the picture. Fortunately, we should be refunded. Um, Let me see. And I was just as surprised as the sewer company to find this. Uh, let's see, where did this picture go? Downloads. This was the reason why our sewer telecom. This is a telecom wire, I believe, from the great AT&T. I don't know if you ever worked with the people that actually put in the wires, but did you have any safeguards in place for people not drilling through sewer lines? Because the people who installed this line in our yard did not. AT&T just drilled straight through it, and they said this was causing the issue with our sewer. Was the big hole in the line there. As you can see, the wire, the black AT&T wire. We think it's AT&T. If a higher level employee from AT&T is watching the stream, I have not yet confirmed it is from AT&T, but that is the only service provider I know of that services our house, so I think it is likely. But yeah, that was a nice surprise last week. It's always something. Daniel will be delayed, video at 10. But like I was saying before I show you all a picture of my sewer, I am hardwired into the internet now. The line runs straight through our sewer. Actually, yeah, all of my live streams are going straight through the sewer to you. From my sewer to your eyes. High dollar cards go international shipping through pirate ship. Yeah, pirate ship I think is a few bucks cheaper than eBay international shipping. Um, the last time I checked, it was like $13 or $14, so you could save a little bit if you want to do that. You'd be surprised how many instructional cards I mail out. Instructional cards. Uh, do you mean for wire stuff? Sorry, I'm still behind in the chat. 3 minutes though. I'm almost up there. Uh, International cards. Okay, it wasn't just me. I. Okay, yeah. Instructional cards didn't make sense. No offense. Yeah, international. I just don't sell a lot of them because I don't list a lot of them, but I know they sell really well. And depending on the locale, like some countries are better than others, just like some states are better than others. France is the New Hampshire of Europe, I believe. What did you mean about legal issues mailing stamps? There's no. I don't think there. I don't think you can call it legal issues. It's just against USPS policy. It's kind of like how it's against policy to mail a can of beer or something, but nobody's gonna like break down your door and lock you up for mailing a can of beer. Just like nobody's gonna do it for mailing a postcard with a stamp. But what USPS regulations say is that you can't mail merchandise that somebody paid for with a stamp in an envelope. But it's not enforced. I've never once seen it enforced. I'm not encouraging you to do it. If there's any USPS higher level employee watching this, but I do know many sellers do it and they have never had an issue. I've seen that before. Can't see below the ground when running cable. It happens more often than we know. I mean, I wasn't even really mad because we found out we didn't know that was the issue with our sewer. All we knew was our sewer was backed up. And then when they found out that was the issue, I was elated because I thought we were going to have to pay $4,000 out of pocket for them to replace our sewer line. And I found out that I could instead probably get AT&T to pay for it. So again, don't know for sure it's AT&T, just think it's AT&T. Covering all my bases here for all the AT&T and USPS employees watching this video. No, that makes sense that you don't have a secret spy camera underground to see where you're going. And I don't know how you would even avoid the sewer line, but yeah, it's just funny to see it dug up and to see him drill straight through the line. Happens more often than we know. And I don't even know how long it's been like that. Because they haven't put any line in while we've been living in the house. So it's been at least a year and a half it's been that way. And we're lucky just because we live on a hill and shit rolls down the hill. So we haven't had to worry about anything really impacting us until, it actually clogged the line. And the sewer cap would pop off in the yard, which is great fun. Thanks for the good info. I bought a storage unit that had about 25,000 postcards that belong to a dealer that's been in storage since 2009, so I appreciate all your videos. Been a big learning curve. Oh yeah, that sounds terrible. That dealer probably just had a bunch of junk. Since 2009, all the cards, if you've had them in storage for that long, they can't be worth that much. So if you want me to take them off your hands, just shoot me an email. I'm happy to pay somebody to come get those and take them off your hands. No, that's a great find. That sounds like a treasure 25,000 that were up in storage for that long, and I'm sure a ton of them are really nice. And check out other postcard YouTubers too. Mark has a lot of great videos about certain topics of cards. I don't know why the copper windows one is always the first one that comes to my mind, but he covers so many different categories of postcard collecting in depth. Popeye's postcards, another great one. The postcard guy we had in here shows a lot of great Lottie bought. There's so many others. Mark Clemens postcards, Lil's postcards. I'm sure I'm missing somebody, but a lot of great postcard information on YouTube these days. There's another YouTube that rants about people using a stamp to mail international. He has done videos about it. Yeah, I've heard of that guy. I don't care if anybody does it. And honestly, I would do it if it wasn't as much work as it is. But it's just not worth it for me to write an address and put a stamp, and I just don't sell. Maybe that'll be my New Year's resolution, to get more into international postcards, because I know I'm leaving money on the table by not listing some of these international cards. And maybe I'll open up my mailers. Or maybe we need to lobby USPS to offer a little, because I think it's Germany or some country, Germany adjacent, has something like a little packet that you can mail, and it's not quite like a package. It has tracking sort of like eBay standard envelope, and then it doesn't update that frequently, and I think it's just when it like goes through the things. And that's like $2 to mail. If USPS could put out something like that, that would be incredible. I lost more cards with eBay standard envelope. I haven't lost any cards shipping internationally. Yeah, I mean, you might lose a card every now and then, but it's not a crazy big issue. I was not aware of that regulation about not mailing merchandise with a stamp. I don't understand why that would be. Gonna have to research that logic. I think it's just because I don't know actually. A good question. I would say it's just because it's so much cheaper, but uh, yeah, I don't know. That's just what the USPS says that you can't mail merchandise with stamps. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the exact logic is behind that. Don't you have marking obligation on sewer line? Yeah, so theoretically, what should happen before a telecom puts line in is like, I think the county should come out and like mark where the sewer line is so AT&T doesn't drill through it or whatever. But yeah, that's what should have happened before the line was buried. But I mean, if AT&T drilled through the sewer line, from my understanding, it is AT&T's responsibility. Mark said they should cover it, but long process. Yeah, yeah. I'm prepared for it to take a while, but I was surprised though because I called AT&T the day that we knew it happened, and they had a guy out the very next day to look at the sewer line. So, uh, fast turnaround on the guy coming to look at it. So we'll see. Copper has been in the ground 50 to 60 years. How old is your house? It's 2003, so it's not that old. I don't know. I don't know if it's a fiber internet cable. And again, I don't know how long it's been like that, but I know it's been at least since we bought the house last year, which it was in April of last year, so it at least a year and a half it's been like that. And the house is from 2003, so could have potentially been a while, but the sewer guy said, and it's not so for people who are, sewer line experts watching this, it's not the line that was going through the sewer line that was the problem. Like I said, we're on a hill, so everything rolls downhill. And it's not like the line was causing a blockage in the sewer. What happened was the holes that the line made, there were roots coming in. And in the picture, you couldn't see them because they had taken all the roots out by then. But there were so many roots growing in through the hole that was caused by the AT&T digging. That's what caused the damage. It was all the tree roots in the line. So it wasn't like the wire itself caused any damage. I've lost. I think I already covered that comment. Ask for forgiveness, not permission. Live on the edge. Yeah, that's the the AT&T motto. No, just kidding. Man, and I'm thinking the beeping is coming from my unit. It's the same sound. Tank full arm. Sorry, I got to keep moving. 2 minutes behind trying to catch up. Probably get off here in a minute. The chat's still moving too quick, though. As of right now, I'm in the postcards for nothing from what I've already sold out of the unit. Yeah, I've talked to one other person that bought a storage unit that had a bunch of postcards in it, and I ended up buying them from him. But yeah, that's a storage unit full of postcards. It's a great find. Make a great video, Daniel in customs jail. Daniel's mugshot is thumbnail. I did one video of me behind bars because my sales were too good one week. That was a good one. That pun was not, or I guess it wasn't really a pun, but that joke went unappreciated, and I thought that was really good. That eBay put me in jail because my sales were too good. They should have digital records of your house wiring install will make it easier. Yeah, I think, and I'm not trying to, get AT&T to pay for this immediately or anything. And I even told the guy, I was like, yeah, I know we should have had AT&T pay for the repair, but this was kind of a timely matter. And so we just went ahead and had it fixed. And also we didn't know that the issue was caused by the wire until they had already dug everything up. So when you find damaged cards, do you just throw them away, or is there still a market for them even as a lot? I'm slowly amassing a collection of damaged postcards that I can't bring myself to throw away. Yeah, definitely don't throw them away. I would say junk journaling is a big thing, so I would probably just list them, at a pretty low cost, maybe 5 cents a card for junk journalers, something like that. Uh, and I think they would sell at that price. Um, I don't know. I don't know what junk journaling postcard lots go for though. At least a couple cents a card, I would think though. Depending on the type, I guess. If it's like a bunch of chrome junk cards, they'd probably go for less or not much. But if it's older, early 1900s, then, a couple cents at least. I have a bucket under my desk. I throw them in and have a couple that does reselling, and they lock them up for scrapbookers. Oh yeah, yeah, that's good. I take all the bad one into the recycling bin. Uh, I wait until I have a bunch, then I lot the damaged cards and sell on eBay. Oh yeah, yeah. See, and I don't even really. Um, yeah, I just try not to buy cards that are too damaged, but I will list some cards that are quite damaged if it's a really uncommon card. And I'll feel bad about listing it, but for one that's so unique, I think it should be still be listed even though it's damaged if it's an incredible postcard, but just in rough shape. Anyway, I'm starting to lose my voice. I really need to bring some water with me to these live streams. I don't know why I didn't actually. I did though. Oh yeah, let me show you my new glasses. I almost wore these for the stream just because my eyes felt so much better. I have something called visual snow syndrome, which I didn't know about until a couple weeks ago, and I just randomly watched a YouTube video about it, and I just thought that's the way everybody saw things. But basically, the way my vision is, it looks like there's static on my vision all the time. And these glasses are supposed to are supposed to help with that, and they don't really help with the static, but it does. They do filter out a lot of the blue light and things. It's just so much less strain on the eyes. And I wore these all day today while I was working. And it was just like taking them off. I was like, it was hard to see. But these glasses, I got them. I forget what they're called. They're not just blue light filtering glasses. They had some special name, but uh, they were. Oh, the video wasn't fuzzy when I put on the glasses. Wow, it actually does look better for me with the glasses on. It's so much easier on the eyes. But I might wear these glasses regularly, even though they look kind of ridiculous. uh, Also, the mature audience, when I part away, don't know if there's a market for them. Some French ones are on edge for today's standards. Those ones actually sell really well. Some of them can go for over $100. I don't know for sure if you can sell them on. I know a lot of them do sell on eBay, but just because something is sold on eBay doesn't necessarily mean that you're allowed to list it on eBay. So I don't know anything about that, but yeah, I don't really do anything with those either. I have a box uh, of some stuff now that a collector had that was inappropriate, mature material. And I don't know what to do with it. It's just a box on a shelf for now. Wait until you get older. Everything looks the same, fuzzy and blurry. My eyes are already terrible. I wear contacts, and my vision is. I think if I'm just lucky that I am living in the year 2025 and not in like 1600, because I think I would have been. Uh, I don't think society would have taken care of people like me because I would have been blind and not really able to work. But my prescription is -9, which is, I don't know if anybody else knows the numbers that prescriptions go up to. I didn't either, really. But -9 is quite bad, and I can't really see anything. Without my contacts in, I can't see anything unless it's like literally right here. But yeah, these glasses, they definitely help. And what were these glasses called? I ordered them from Zinni, and they took a while to get here, but they were cheap. Uh, Zinni is a great place to get glasses, by the way. If you go to the eye doctor, don't let them take advantage of you because the eye doctor is always the most expensive place to get glasses. Just say you want your prescription, you don't want to order any glasses, and order them on a website like Zinni. It's called. What is this called? Oh, great. I have to log in to see. Come on. They are. Why can I not? I don't want to log into my account. Um, let's see. Glasses. Uh, chromatic, some kind of chromatic filter. Um, borosilicite, something maybe. I don't know. I forget what it's called. Zinni's trying to make me log in to see what it's called, which I don't want to do. Uh, but it's so much more pleasant to look at screens with these glasses on, and I might just wear these all the time now. And I don't know. They're not very fashionable by any means, but Elvis in the house, yeah. Elvis, did he ever wear sunglasses? Was that his thing? Elvis. I wouldn't know. I'm not a big Elvis head. Uh, oh, speaking of Elvis, what I was thinking of, what went through my mind in those 2 seconds was, I wonder if people dress up as Elvis for Halloween. And we actually saw a man dressed up as Ward Cleaver from Leave It to Beaver on Halloween this year, and I thought that was so funny, because who even knows who Ward Cleaver is anymore? That's like, God, that's such a throwback. But more power to the guy to dress up as not even like, well, I guess if he's a grown man, he can't really dress up as Beaver or Wally or the older kid that they were friends with. Ward Cleaver, like how many people, what percentage of people do you think know who that is when they say, hey, what are you dressed up as? And you say Ward Cleaver. uh, Kevin, if he puts on a onesie suit and swing, yeah. I need what do you wear? The white coat, bandana. The hair is the main thing, though. And what I will leave everyone with today is this incredible website of this lady who believes that Elvis is still alive. Uh, shoot. Am I going to be able to find her website? There, man, it's such a great part of the internet. And I don't know if I'll be able to find it, though. Because it's just so obscure. Man, I wish I could find it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, though. But this lady 100% believes that not only Elvis is still alive, but that she is the only one that Elvis has let know that he's alive. And she believes that Elvis communicates to the world through her. And her website is just an incredible feed of. Okay, let's see. Did I find it? No, I don't think I did. I'm getting closer. What? Man, this sucks. She had a great website. It might be offline for all I know. But surely the Elvis is still alive. People have to be. And she had a new album on her website too that Elvis allegedly recorded that was hilarious. I really wish I could find this. Elvis is still alive. New album. Oh, there was a picture of him on a lawnmower. Oh, I found it. You're welcome. This will keep you all busy until next Tuesday. Uh, her website. This is crazy. This is great. Linda Hood Sigmund Truth Continued.com, because the first website, I guess, the domain name lapsed or something, but take a quick scroll on that website. You have to, if you look on the left side of the screen, that's the navigation bar for you to navigate to blog pages by date. But yeah, for all my Elvis lovers out there, if you do some reading, you might just come to the conclusion that Elvis is not only still alive, but he is communicating to the world through Linda Hood Sigmund. Truthcontinued.com. Let's see. Where are we at? Chroma glasses. Elvis wore them for fashion, and he also had glaucoma. So were they for fashion, or were they to help? Can you wear glasses for glaucoma? I'm probably gonna get that. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure I'm gonna get it because my eyes suck. We'll have to go. Grandkids just showed up. It's time for me to head out too. I've been on too long. I'm already losing my voice. But yeah, thanks for coming in today, everyone. Jim Lloyd, what type of? Okay, I'll let the chat go for a few more minutes. Actually, I think if you keep the stream up, the chat will stay active. I don't know for how long, but yeah, I will just leave you all with my Elvis conspiracy website, and I will see you next Tuesday, 2 days before we leave for York. If planes are still flying in the United States at that time, that is. Uh, which, fingers crossed, I hope air traffic controllers start getting paid and are able to do their job for money instead of for free. But thanks everybody for coming in. Great live stream today. Hope to have a great one next week. Hope you all have a great weekend sales. See you later.